Whoever exalts himself will be brought down, but he who humbles himself will be elevated by God. Hello, friends. This is Stella, your host on the Family Enrichment Hub. I'm delighted to be continuing our series today on virtues that we need to teach our children within our household. I want to thank you for promoting the content that is shared on this platform on a regular basis. And for those of us who are new here, I want to specially welcome you to the Center for Your Family Learning and for Your Growth. Today, I'm going to be speaking about another virtue that we need to be talking about and helping our children to appreciate within our households, and that is the virtue of humility. Humility is about being modest and not thinking you're better or more important than others. It's about not bragging on your accomplishments on others. It is about valuing the good in others. And generally speaking, as human beings, when we rise, when we achieve certain notable accomplishment, there's a natural tendency to bloat your ego and to want to be seen and noticed as above and better than everybody else. Humility, however, is about acknowledging your notable and outstanding accomplishments without stepping on people's heads, without loading it on others, without making others feel less of human beings than you are. It is about acknowledging your achievements and remaining quite level-headed and sober while celebrating the good things that have happened in your life. The opposite of humility is pride. Pride is always feeling like you're above everybody else. Pride is about feeling like you're better, more knowledgeable, brighter, and sharper than everybody else. In every situation, you feel like you are on top of the world over everybody else. What does the scripture teach us? Scripture teaches us in Proverbs 16, verse 18, that pride goes before destruction and a high spirit and attitude before a fall. Scripture also teaches us in Proverbs 15:33 that the fear of God is the instruction of wisdom, but humility always goes before honor. Proverbs 11 verse 2 tells us that every time that pride enters your heart, then disgrace and shame are also coming. Proverbs 16 verse 5 tells us that God detests everybody who is proud in their heart. We are also told in Proverbs 13 verse 10 that pride is the source of all strife within our different human relationships and interactions. And basing on those scriptures, you can pick a cue that where pride is, there will be detestable behavior. And God says you will be detestable in his eyes and also before men. Pride will make doors and opportunities to close in your face because nobody wants to associate with somebody who is detestable because of their high attitude, which is presented by way of pride. Pride causes you to become socially isolated from the people, from the peers, from the communities, from the places where you're supposed to be interacting and living with people. And so pride in essence makes you to really look ugly in the eyes of people. I want to share with us certain hints that we can use as parents to help us, give us a guide, to help us to understand the attitudes within our children, whether we are raising children with pride or we are raising children with humble spirits within them. And the first one is always look out for the child who does not admit mistakes. They are always right. They never want to acknowledge when things have gone wrong in their life. Errors in their life are always attributed to another person. And so in essence, that child is showing you that they are not accountable. That's a clear sign of the seed of pride is growing within your child. A child who has trouble listening to others. Every time that conversation comes up, This child wants, they're eager to air out their own views before listening to others. They're always so eager to show their rightness before taking the time and trouble to listen to the views of others. That is a sign of the seed of pride is growing in your child's life. Watch out for the language that your children use within the house. Language is a clear sign of the kind of attitude that is growing within the life of your child. For instance, when you hear your children describing people on a regular basis as local, as people are poor, as they are smelly, they are uncouth, they are backward, they are not of their level, you know that the seed of pride is growing in your child. And on a personal level, I must be very honest here, through language, we were able to tell that our children, some of our children, were actually developing and growing the seed of pride within them. We always had a word, uncouth, people are local, people are backward, and we knew that we had work to begin doing and working on our children to help them reverse this ugly trend of pride within their lives. Look out for the associates of your children. Who would your children rather associate with? Do you notice that they only want to associate with the rich and famous peers, rich and famous people? That is a clear sign of your child is developing and indeed growing the seed of pride within their life. Also look out for children who are quick to judge people by their outlook. You get guests at home, people have come to visit you, and a child begins making remarks in the direction of the prices of the clothes that people are wearing, the prices of the shoes that they are wearing, their kind of accent. You know that a child is growing the ugly seed of pride within their lives. Also look out for their attitude towards work. If you apportion work within the household and you hear statements like, but this is for girls, this is really not for boys, you know that your child is developing and growing a seed of pride within their life. Also look out for gender biases that a child begins showing. For instance, in our house here, sometimes when we are driving together with the children and you notice a motorist has made a mistake on the road, there are remarks that sometimes I hear from some of my children. A child makes a statement saying, no wonder it is a woman. You know that that is a seed of pride that is actually growing within the life of your child. Also look out for the children who are bent on arguing, consistently arguing with elders, with teachers, with parents, with prefects. They are more eager to air out their views than to listen to the views of these categories of people. It's a clear sign of your child does not take authority very well. And so it speaks to the fact that pride is developing within them. They feel they are better and more knowledgeable than everybody else. Humility makes you attractive. And so it's incumbent upon us as parents and caregivers to teach our children the virtue of humility within our households. On a personal level, I keep telling my children within the house to understand the law of gravity, that whatever goes up will definitely come down by the law of gravity. And I tell them that every time you elevate yourself to the sky above everybody else, every time you lift your wings so high and feel like you're much better and above everybody else, know that the law of gravity is at work. It does not discriminate. You will definitely come back down. And basing on our opening scripture, whoever exalts themselves will be brought down, but whoever humbles themselves will be lifted up by God at his right season. So this is a message I give my children. Keep elevating yourself and you will be brought down by the Lord himself. But humble yourself under the mighty hand of the Lord, and in due time he will elevate you to high and mighty places and spaces. Allow me to conclude with this. Humility is a master key that brings favor, that opens doors, and brings opportunities into your life. May God give us wisdom as parents to raise children of humility, children who are going to be a source of blessing to the society and to their families. Thank you for listening in. Kindly share widely, for this is how we shall transform our society through the family. God bless you. Catch you in 2 weeks' time again. Bye.